The Appalachian Mountains hold many secrets, their ancient peaks and valleys shrouded in mystery and legend. Some of these secrets are beautiful, like hidden waterfalls cascading through the forest, and sun-dappled glades where light filters through the trees, creating a serene and magical atmosphere. Others are darker, buried deep within the earth, in places where light rarely penetrates, and shadows seem to hold their breath. In the winter of 1977, one such secret emerged from the icy grip of a Pennsylvania cave, a secret that would send chills down the spines of all who heard of it. A group of spelunkers, their headlamps cutting through the oppressive darkness, ventured deeper into the cave, unaware of the chilling discovery that awaited them. There, on the cold, unforgiving cave floor, lay a man's body, frozen solid, his final moments preserved in a macabre tableau. Time seemed to have stopped for him, the frigid air preserving his features and the look of terror etched on his face, a silent witness to his last desperate moments. The spelunkers, shaken to their core by the eerie sight, immediately contacted the authorities, their voices trembling as they described the scene. The local sheriff's department arrived swiftly, their flashlights casting long, eerie shadows on the cave walls, as they began to piece together the mystery of the frozen man. The cave, damp and frigid, seemed to amplify the tragedy, each drip of water echoing like a mournful cry in the cold, dark environment. Who was this man, and how did he meet such a lonely and tragic end in the depths of this remote cave? The questions hung heavy in the air, echoing off the cave walls as the spelunkers and authorities alike pondered the mystery before them. The investigation was about to begin, but little did they know it would span decades, a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the relentless march of time, as the seasons changed and the cave kept its secrets. The cave, located near the imposing peak known as Pinnacle Peak, became a hub of activity. It was a place that had long been shrouded in local legends and eerie tales, but now it was the center of a real-life mystery that had everyone on edge. Police, photographers, and forensic experts swarmed the area, their every move scrutinized by the curious eyes of the media and local onlookers. The scene was chaotic, with the buzz of speculation and the hum of equipment filling the air. The body, carefully extracted from its icy tomb, offered few clues. It was a grim discovery that raised more questions than answers, leaving everyone involved grasping for any piece of information that could shed light on the identity of the deceased. His clothing, simple jeans and a light jacket, hinted at a hasty decision, a lack of preparation for the unforgiving conditions of the mountain. It was as if he had ventured into the wilderness on a whim, unprepared for the harsh reality that awaited him. His pockets were empty, save for a few coins and a crumpled pack of cigarettes, offering no identification. The authorities were baffled. There were no personal items, no wallet, no phone, nothing that could provide a clue to his identity or his purpose for being there. Who was this man, and why was he alone in the wilderness? Speculation ran rampant. Some believed he was a lost hiker, while others thought he might be a fugitive on the run. Theories abounded, each more intriguing than the last. Was he a hiker caught in a sudden storm? A fugitive seeking refuge? Or perhaps someone with a darker secret, hiding from a past that had finally caught up with him? Or was there something more sinister at play? The cave, with its dark and foreboding entrance, seemed to hold its secrets tightly, refusing to give them up easily. The unknown gnawed at the investigators, fueling their determination to give a name to the face frozen in time. They pored over every detail, every scrap of evidence, hoping to piece together the puzzle of Pinnacle Man. They called him Pinnacle Man, a placeholder for the life they were desperately trying to piece together. Each clue, each piece of evidence, brought them one step closer to uncovering the truth behind the mystery of Pinnacle Peak. Despite their best efforts, the investigation stalled. The man's fingerprints yielded no match, his face, preserved by the cold, remained unidentified. Years turned into decades, and the case of Pinnacle Man faded from the headlines, relegated to the cold case files, a haunting reminder of a mystery unsolved. But even as time passed, the memory of the frozen man lingered in the minds of those who had seen the chilling photographs, heard the whispers of the unsolved case. The mystery of Pinnacle Man became a local legend, a campfire story whispered on cold nights, a cautionary tale about the unforgiving nature of the mountains and the secrets they held. But for the investigators who had pored over the case, the lack of answers was a persistent thorn, a promise unfulfilled. They never gave up hope, clinging to the belief that one day, somehow, Pinnacle Man would reveal his identity. The year 2024 dawned with the promise of new technology and advancements in forensic science. The world was on the cusp of breakthroughs that would change the landscape of criminal investigations forever. The once dormant case of Pinnacle Man landed on the desk of a determined young detective, driven to make his mark on the force. This case, shrouded in mystery and long forgotten by many, was about to be resurrected. He saw not just a cold case, but a challenge, a chance to bring closure to a family who had waited decades for answers. The detective felt a deep sense of responsibility, knowing that the family had endured years of uncertainty and pain. He decided to re-examine the evidence, hoping that modern technology could unlock the secrets that had remained hidden for so long. The advancements in forensic tools and techniques gave him a renewed sense of hope. He focused on the fingerprints, once a dead end. These prints, overlooked and underestimated in the past, now held the potential to crack the case wide open. Advances in fingerprint databases and identification software offered a glimmer of hope. The detective knew that these technological leaps could bridge the gap between past and present, bringing long-awaited justice. The prints, meticulously preserved, were run through state and national databases, a process that had become infinitely more sophisticated since 1977. The detective watched as the system worked its magic, scanning and comparing with unparalleled precision. Days turned into weeks, and just as the detective was about to concede defeat, a match emerged. The anticipation was palpable, each passing day a test of his patience and resolve. A name flashed across his screen, a name that sent chills down his spine. Nicholas Paul Grubb. This revelation was the breakthrough he had been waiting for, a pivotal moment that would change everything. Nicholas Paul Grubb. Nicholas Paul Grubb. A name that had been lost to time was suddenly imbued with tragic significance. The detective's heart pounded as he pulled up the missing person report filed in 1977. The details were scant, but they were enough to confirm his suspicions. Nicholas Paul Grubb, a 27-year-old man from a nearby town, had vanished without a trace in the winter of 1977. His family, heartbroken and desperate, had never given up hope of finding him. Now, after 47 long years, they finally had an answer. The news of the identification spread like wildfire, a mix of relief and renewed grief washing over the small town. Nicholas Paul Grubb, the boy who had disappeared into the mountains, had been found. But his story, far from over, was just beginning to be told. The discovery was bittersweet, a reminder that even in death, the truth has a way of emerging. The identification of Nicholas Paul Grubb was a major breakthrough, but it also opened a Pandora's box of unanswered questions. Why had he ventured into the mountains that fateful winter? Was he alone, or had he met with foul play? The investigation, reignited after decades of dormancy, took on a renewed sense of urgency. Detectives retraced Nicholas's last known steps, interviewing old friends, family members, and anyone who might have crossed paths with him in the days leading up to his disappearance. The rugged terrain and the passage of time made for a difficult investigation. The cave where Nicholas was found yielded no new clues, and the circumstances surrounding his death remained a mystery. Had he succumbed to the elements, losing his way in a sudden snowstorm? Or was there a darker truth buried beneath the layers of time, a truth that someone might be desperate to keep hidden? The questions lingered, casting a long shadow over the investigation. For Nicholas's family, the news of his identification brought a wave of emotions: relief that their loved one had finally been found, grief that his life had been cut short, and anger that they might never know the full truth of what happened on that fateful winter day. They had waited 47 years for answers, and now, even with the identification, a sense of closure remained elusive. Despite the lingering questions, the family found some solace in knowing that Nicholas was no longer lost to them. His remains were returned home, laid to rest in the family plot, a place where they could visit him, mourn him, and remember the young man who had vanished into the mountains all those years ago. The discovery of his remains provided a tangible connection to their lost loved one, a reminder that even in death, he was not forgotten. The tragic case of Nicholas Paul Grubb serves as a stark reminder of the unforgiving power of nature. The Appalachian Mountains, while breathtaking in their beauty, can be treacherous, especially during the winter months. Freezing temperatures, sudden snowstorms, and treacherous terrain can quickly turn a pleasant hike into a fight for survival. Nicholas's story, though shrouded in mystery, highlights the importance of respecting the power of the natural world. His light clothing and lack of proper gear suggest that he may have underestimated the dangers that lay ahead. The mountains demand respect, and venturing into their embrace unprepared is a gamble no one should take. Nicholas's story is a cautionary tale, a reminder that nature's beauty can be deceiving, and that preparation is paramount when venturing into the wild. In the wake of Nicholas's story, it's crucial to remember that tragedies like his can be prevented. Proper planning and preparation are essential when venturing into the wilderness, especially during the winter months. Investing in appropriate gear, checking the weather forecast, and informing someone of your itinerary can mean the difference between life and death. Carrying a map, compass, extra layers of clothing, food and water can provide a lifeline in case of an unexpected turn of events. Equally important is the knowledge of basic survival skills, such as building a fire, finding shelter, and signaling for help. By taking the necessary precautions and respecting the power of nature, we can minimize the risks and ensure that our adventures in the wild remain safe and enjoyable. Nicholas's story, though tragic, can serve as a powerful lesson for us all.